Hey everybody, this is a grumpy old guy gaming. I'm gonna do a quick take two on this because I talked over a good 15 minutes of this and completely didn't realize that the record button was still paused. Sorry folks, still learning the ropes on this even after a couple months, trying to get into more intricate things. So the theme of this video is what I think Trick or Treat Night would be in the world, in the .hack universe. Here you could see us in a fire field. It is myself, R.L. Stein, and Katori. Katori is the heavy blade character for Fiery Blitz on the Fragment Resurgence Discord, and I am playing Dionysius the Wave Master. This was a bit of a weird tale and a bit of a tragic tale. We are on the Mackerel server, if I remember correctly, hosted by Vanessa. I hope I'm saying these names right. Guys, feel free to throw a, rubber chicken at me or just scold me if I say your names wrong in any of these videos. My apologies, I'm never the best with names. Also, again, apologies for some of the more jarring quick cuts. I'm just sort of feeling my way around editing on a more technical level. That way you guys don't have to deal with so many long pauses and just rooms of nothing going on. So here we are in this dungeon. It ended up being a 10-floor dungeon, and we were sort of given the old mod speak from above to go here. It's the whale shark keyword, which leads to some pretty good loot, as we were told. And right away I could tell you this party was really darn effective. Stay dead, you stupid witch. Very, very on point for the mood of this dungeon, because we ran into a lot of Menhir, and if you're not careful with Menhir, or even if you are careful and just aren't lucky, things don't stay dead around them. For instance, we have a pair of phantoms, very flammable, so we take them down in a hurry. But that Menhir sneaks up and revives another phantom. We make short work of it, but, there's your case in point. When there's a Menhir in the monster mob, don't count on anything else staying dead before they fall. So we're just kind of wandering around here in the 4th floor, not really doing much, just heading to the next room. It's a little bit after this that Fiery Blitz Katori ended up getting disconnected. I sadly believe all of their equipment and everything was wiped, which is a bummer. I've had it happen to myself, and let me tell you, it's just not pleasant. Fortunately, the community around here is so helpful. I believe they got the vast majority, if not all of the gear, including a really rare sword. Got them back to Blitz in no time. Just awesome people here playing Fragment, just willing to help each other out. I believe Dow has an open inquiry available on the BBS on the bulletin board. If anybody needs any gear, just let them know, and if they're able, they'll help. That's just incredible. So we're kind of making our way around here, and it was 10 levels. It was really fast. It didn't feel like 10 levels at all, honestly. Zipped through that. I'll apologize for the white screen there. I think I was just sort of moving around different screens and trying to get Discord back up at the time to explain why I suddenly disappeared. Stein insisted I take the chest. I was more than thankful. I pick up a fire hands there, which at the time sounded like a cool armor piece. And then I found out how cool it was because it's a level 69 hand armor. Ridiculously powerful, and oh, yeah, giggity. So I was geeking out over that, not so much for myself, but I knew somebody who could really use a bit of a power boost in the gear, and that's my wife on her heavy blade character. Here it is. You'll notice Buffy right there in the center of the screen, the female heavy blade. That is my wife's second character. Her first character is a Wave Master, and Buffy is her homage to Buffy the Vampire Slayer, I'm assuming. It's a heavy blade, and I switched to Grumpo Guy, my long arm. So Buffy got the level 69 hand armor and a level 18 rare sword that I had picked up with a different character of mine. And I believe we started out here, I was level 16 and she was level 4. And we're going to eventually find our way to a level 17 area. By the time all things were said and done, I believe she ended up leveling 3 times. So gear makes a very big difference, especially at low levels. We were able to party up together, and while she'd be the first to tell you that she was vastly underleveled there, I could tell you just from watching through gameplay that she didn't exactly look like a level 4 or level 5, running through this. Thanks to the gear, thanks to her getting more used to the commands and everything. I think she only fell once over the course of the whole dungeon. Yeah, I only used 1 resurrect that field. So funny story here where we're going to be in a bit of a pause. Monsters get a real good jump on us, and that's because at that moment when those metal emperors were encroaching, I had just remembered I had some apple dumplings baking in the oven. So I sort of panicked and dashed to the kitchen to grab the apple dumplings and was not there to do anything attack-wise. And then I'm getting called from the other room saying, oh, by the way, things are attacking us. Real fun times. Nothing like making a challenging game slightly more challenging, But we do make it out victorious, and we start our progression through the field. See a lot of portals there. We took them out in fairly quick order. Nothing too daunting in the way of enemies. As you can see, we take down a mushroom there. I forget the specific monster in the line that is. We have 1 more portal left on the field at this point. And it is just a treasure chest, so lucky break for us. Nothing left but a spring, so I'm gonna head my way over there and let her explore it. I believe the messes ended up throwing in an Aqua Guard, if I remember. It was some type of foot armor, and it's only a level 1 grandpa, I believe, on this field. So it wasn't able to do anything really with it, just sort of tossed it back with a golden axe and a silver axe. Typically, that's my preferred result on these things. 1, because you could trade those golden and silver axes in offline, and 2, because I grew up a Sega kid, and Golden Axe Warrior was one of my favorite RPGs. Yeah, there I am, level 16, fairly close to level 17. She's going to be popping up Grandpa right there. That cue certainly worked out better than the first take. Thank God that was paused. One of these days, I actually need to keep audio that I just botch and make a blooper reel. Let me know if you guys would really enjoy that kind of thing. Goodness knows I keep enough mistakes. I'm sure there's a good chuckle or 2 every time I record commentary. But a real honest-to-goodness blooper reel might be a fun thing to do, too. Got my 100th video coming up here soon. Tough to believe, but I think this is number 81 on uploads. So maybe I'll do something special like that, who knows. So here we are, first level, and we're up against more metal emperors. The sword she's got is ridiculous. It's got like life steal and critical hit. Like every time I turned around, she was healing back to full on a strike. I mean, really just holding her own. Not doing insane amounts of damage, but certainly getting the hits in. And she's got Aptorv, which is a physical accuracy boost. I've got Aptorv, which is physical defense. So we're covered on those 2 angles. And we're just gonna make our way through here. Again, make a quick cut closer to the end of the floor here. Got some arrowfish and a metal emperor. The arrowfish, of course, can poison you. That's their inherent ability. Not the most annoying thing on the planet, but in a close battle, it can tick you low in a hurry, and it's especially dangerous for Buffy, because she's so far under the level cap. That little drain in points is going to be the difference between life or death if she gets hit at all. Made sure to heal that as quickly as we could after the battle, and took a little time by the door to cast a quick rep her way. Heading down here to the 2nd floor. And now all the way to the 7th, because I forgot where I cut that. Amateur hour, kids. Really should have looked ahead at the video before I started calling my shots, huh? Yeah, this was another long one. I think this ended up being a 7th floor dungeon, which was awesome because I needed a good 7th floor dungeon. We also needed to reset the shortcuts for the message. She didn't have any attack spells set. So when we came up against these noisy wisps, which are notoriously difficult to hit under the best of circumstances physically, she was sort of at a loss. But we made sure she got that back done, shortcutted and shortcut. Yeah, shortcut is a word, shortcutted isn't, my apologies there. But we got the shortcut up and mercifully got back to enemies that just die to getting poked with sharp sticks. Everybody's favorite type of enemy, I'm assuming. We spent a good deal of this dungeon just giggling at some of the experience totals she was getting. She was pulling like 54 off of killer snakers at some points, and everything else was giving her like 42, 44 experience, which was an awesome thing because A, she was having fun and in there and didn't feel like she was really overpowered by too much in it, and B, leveled her up in a hurry, again from 4 to 7 and a good chunk of the way to 8. Really positive experiences like that, and I think that's really one of the effective things with the way the dot hack games are sort of set up. As we reach our dungeon's end and she collects the loot from a hard-earned journey, you can really get somebody into the game and give them that feeling of, yes, this is awesome, I can do this, simply with the way the experience is scaled. You get them in a little overhead, help them out a bit, but let them hold their own, let them get their hits in for the experience, and the next thing you know, they're already up near level 10 and they're ready to help out the next group of new players, which seem to be coming on a daily basis. Guys, this is an awesome game and this is an awesome time to get in it. I myself just started playing Fragment in August and it's been a riot all the time. This is the 3rd run I've gotten this little trick-or-treat compilation. I went on my Blade Master here after work today just to sort of fill it out, and I was lucky enough that Dow had the Hongik University server up at the time, which is the one I believe they do rare item hunts with. I always like jumping on here, and this one was a bit of personal satisfaction for me. I alluded earlier to an instance where Fiery Blitz had Katori wiped due to a disconnect. I sadly had a similar instance happen with Repkosa in my Blade Master. It was just after that Sports Day event, about a week after the Sports Day event, that this character was wiped, and I lost everything, all of my gear, all of my items, and the Sports Day item. Not gonna cry over it. That was silly me for not backing up my save files. Lesson learned there. But I've been spending the better part of the last week or two just sort of hanging out and getting things back to normal, and today was the day that Hongik was up. It's got Netslum as the root town, and I was able to buy the Fair Soul Sword back. Going back in the dungeon here, just popping a quick Fairy's Orb to take a look at the field. Something I've been doing a bit lately. It's been helping me streamline the runs, and I had a lot of things to do after work today. Really wanted to get this video out to y'all. Again, continuing my Halloween celebration, getting some holiday themed uploads in all week, and I also wanted to make sure I got a special thank you out to everybody who's been partying up lately, everyone I've had the chance to run with and talk with lately, and just everyone in this community. Guys, if I didn't mention you by name, I apologize, but don't think that means I'm any less grateful. Like, everybody in this community is amazing. Necro, I think, was the first person I partied up with other than my wife. That one's a really tough one to party up with, Necro, because they live in France, and that is a big difference from here in the mid-Atlantic region of the United States. Bit of a time difference thing, and at the time, I believe the day I was actually able to party up with them, I had to run into work to do some early orders, and they were still on when I got back. But I do try every now and then to see if they're on. I mean, I know schedules are busy and everything, but you end up making these quick friendships with people, and it's ridiculous. Just everybody in this community, so cool, so much fun to talk to, and so much going on. Still on the first floor here because I honestly was just kind of hanging out at this point at home. Letting the film roll a bit, I realized the earlier cuts were getting a little obnoxious, and sometimes less is more. Picking up a golden egg. One nice thing about the character wipe is I no longer have 99 golden eggs. I had a nasty habit, if you look back at some of my earlier Weekend Warrior videos, of just picking them up and forgetting I couldn't carry them. Picked up, I think, 7 oak anklets throughout this dungeon. But we're carrying through here, and there were a lot of really nice treasures to be found throughout here. It was an enjoyable solo run. Currently, as I'm filming this, I believe there's a bit of a hiccup with the server. I believe the lobby server's down. Gonna check here. Yeah, it's down. I was actually hosting story time today. I wanted to go ahead and get the keywords for all of these special dungeons /scroll put into Storytime Dungeons listed on the bulletin boards in the post about the custom areas. That way when people are running, they know what word combinations to try for those special dungeons. Check out a lot of /scroll's hard work. Here we are on the 3rd floor already. Through the magic of television, if you will. And we're up against a Tetra armor. And a Mystery Rock. Mystery Rock, of course, popping out health regeneration like it's going out of style. Not bothering us, though, because thanks to that fair soul, I am just dealing the damage high, low, and right down the middle. Gonna take the stairs down. I believe this was a quick one. It was only a 4-level dungeon. That was the one attack I really looked pro on. Had a couple of shield, I believe they were shield devils. Took them out in one strike. And to balance things out, here's an attack I looked like another noob on. 2 mystery rocks. I try and hit them with a rock attack. Folks, when a monster says null earth in those blinking orange letters, it means it's not going to take damage from your earth attacks. Either debuff them or find a new plan. Don't do what I did, which is spend 50 skill points to do double zeros. Either way, I hacked my way through the portal. It's all good now. We could have a laugh. Grabbed a Fire Tempest out of that chest. Also got a lot of summon fires. That's the scroll that lets you summon Vulcan, or in my case, the scroll that lets me sell it for 2,500 gold. Really helped me recoup some items by the end of this dungeon. Finally got some Hail Crosses back on this guy. That will be helpful in the future. I believe the Hail Cross is a consumable Ola rep, if I remember, 400 hit points to all nearby allies. Really gotta love that versatility. Here, just making sure my buffs and everything are in order, or get myself back up to full health. Pick up yet another Fire Tempest, and the Fool. The Fool grabs the Fool. Cut away here to this corridor room. It's the last portal of the dungeon, and I get a Tetra Armor and a Mystery Rock. Pretty fair challenge here. There were a couple times I got down in health, but I was never really too threatened. I was fortunate enough that there were no, like, mimic line or anything that was going to confuse or paralyze. And then heading our way up into the treasure room here. I guess a confusion wouldn't have been too bad. Soloing. Here we get a Stormlord Helm and a Rainbow Card and a Soul Charm. So overall, a pretty good prize there for the Trick or Treat. Guys, that is my thoughts of what Trick or Treat Night might look like in the world. Let me know what you might think as well. This has been a Grumpy Old Guy Gaming, thanking you for watching.